How you doing? I'm Sean McVeigh with Sean's Outdoor Adventures. Today's review is at Palo Outdoors in Palo, Iowa. I want to give a very special thanks to the people here at Palo for assisting me in reviewing. They have a large selection of bows. If you're in the area, make sure you pop in, check out some of the bows, tell them I sent you, and let's get into this particular bow. Okay, now I'm going to shoot the Hoyt Helix. And this is about a 30-inch axle-to-axle bow. They have a somewhat unique looking thing in the string this year. It's actually in the center of the string so it can't slide. And you still have your nocks clamped on there for speed. Their roller guard system, they've changed it up over the years. Now it's a solid, it doesn't move. This is about an $1,100 bow. I'm going to do my back wall rating test here. So as far as, it's got a softer back wall, and it comes off at about a 5 out of 10 rating. Comes off fairly easily. Pretty good when it goes off, not much vibration. Now I have noticed, it looks like they've gone to a new system, probably to try to eliminate or minimize bottom cam lean. So on their cable, it splits out on the bottom here. And so what they're achieving with that is they can still slave the cams together with this cable here. But with the other cable, which goes to the limbs, they're able to, they're splitting it on either side of the cam, again, probably to try to minimize cam lean. And there is very little, there's a hair of cam lean there on the bottom cam. Top cam from the factory has no cam lean at all. So it looks to me that the design should be able to achieve what they're trying to with it. And just take another shot with it. Yeah. So as far as when the bow goes off, it does, it's decent. When you compare it to other Hoyts, there's not a lot of jumpiness and vibration. In the past, I've owned some Hoyts that really want to jump out of your hand. This one does not. It does have a characteristic grip of Hoyt. Hoyts tend to have wider grips, and it's probably something you could swap out, I would imagine. They usually make them interchangeable. As far as obtaining a consistent grip, I do feel that it's decent for that. Now this is a personal preference. I'm just going to mention this, but this side of the grip, I do like one that has a very defined edge, because it fits in the seam of my palm well and helps me create the same kind of a grip each time. This particular grip, for the way that I grip the bow, could cause a little bit of challenge for that because of the smoothness there. It could cause me to modify my grip a little bit, which is very important for being consistent. However, that is for me personally. Aside from that, comparing this to Hoyts I've shot in the past, this is definitely a nice model. I'm going to grab the arrows, excuse me, and shoot it through the chronograph and see what we get. Now, because of that sponginess of the back wall, you can, depending on how hard you're holding against the back wall, you can have some variations in speed here. Not by much, but a little bit. All right, going over the data for the Hoyt Helix. My measured ATA was 30 5/8. The manufacturer's 30 1/2. Brace height was right on at 6 inches. The draw weight came in just a hair under 70. real close though. The draw length came in at 30 and an eighth, and it is, I have had experience with Hoyts coming in a little long on the draw length. An eighth of an inch is going to give you a little extra speed, so when we're looking at our overall speed, it wasn't a true 30-inch draw. It was just a hair over, but still, let's take a look here. So their draw length range was 27 to 30 for this particular bow. Now, one thing I noted here is that on Hoyt's website, their speed rating is ATA, so Archery Trade Association. That's different than IBO. The specs that I've been going off of for all of my review series is IBO, 70 pounds, 5 grains per pound, 30-inch draw. So their ATA speed rating is 342 feet per second, which was, we were close. We came in with an average of 340 feet per second with a noise of an average of 84.1 decibels. The back wall was soft. I could really kind of pull into it, and it comes off of the back wall very easily. That's 5 out of 10. And that's something I've come to expect from Hoyts, that they seem to be that way pretty much every year. Down here I have the draw curve. If you want to take a look at that, I started the draw curve measurements at 10 inches just because when I'm cranking the draw board, I can't see farther than the 10-inch mark. So that's just where I was starting. And there's our draw cycle curve there. Comes up, ramps up pretty quick, stays at near peak weight most of the draw cycle, and then drops off at the end. So first impressions of the Hoyt. I've been trying to keep my opinion out of the videos. However, I'm going to offer some opinion on this because it benefits Hoyt. I honestly have been a little disappointed with some of the Hoyt bows I've shot in the past few years, but I would say this one is definitely a step forward. I'm happy for Hoyt. I think this is a nice bow. Some of the observations I made, aside from their new cable system to try to minimize cam lean, the back wall of a Hoyt is a little bit softer and comes off of the back wall easier than some of the other bows that I shot. But that can play into people's personal preference. Depending on what kind of release you're using and how you're drawing the bow, some people like a softer back wall because when they don't have enough, they don't slow down naturally on their own when they're reaching full draw, and so they're slamming into back wall. So this would make it a little more comfortable for somebody like that. And some people who shoot like a back tension release, they want a bow that'll come off the back wall easy to force them to, keep back on it. So again, those come to personal preferences, but that's something that's been noticeable about Hoyts. I would imagine, in the past years, they've had an optional limb stop, and I didn't check to see if they have that anymore. With these, now that they have an adjustable draw length cam, I don't know if they're still providing that. But I am happy to see that they do have draw length adjustability on their cam. I really think that's really helpful to have, whether you're passing the bow on to somebody else or trying to sell it, or you're just trying to tinker around. Being able to adjust a little bit, can have an impact when you're switching from one release style to the next. Like from a wrist strap style to a handheld, you might want to tweak the draw length. So now with this, you can do something like that. So good job to Hoyt. I'm proud of Hoyt for this bow, compared to some of the bows they've had in the past. I would encourage you to check it out. It has a little bit more noise and vibration than some of the other bows I've been shooting, but it's also providing more speed than some of the other bows I've shot. So there is a little bit of a trade-off there. So make sure you stay tuned to this whole series. I'll have a link for the playlist so you can see how I reviewed some of the other bows. And at the end, I'm going to do a synopsis of, best bow of the year, meaning which bow was closest to the manufacturer's specs, which bow came out the fastest, and all that kind of stuff. So, one last thing I will mention, the draw cycle is a little more radical with this than some bows, but that's how you're getting some of the speed. However, I don't think it's so bad that it's not like it's uncomfortable, compared to some of the draw cycles I've felt in the past. Yeah, so it does, it's, you know, Hoyts are known for that hump and dump type of a draw cycle, and this is one of those. But, okay, well, I'm going to close out this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll stay tuned to the whole series. If you haven't subscribed, please do that, and like, share, comment below. What do you think of the Hoyt this year? Thanks for tuning in. God bless you.